Hello, my name is Patrick Letts, co-founder of Footprint Technology, where footprint goes down and energy goes up. I'm here today to talk about the solar water heating process and the different forms it can take. The solar water heating process is a renewable resource which allows you to harness the power of the sun in order to use in your house. This is most commonly seen in a domestic setting, your house, although it can also be seen on an industrial setting, such as using it in a steam generator for electricity. The first step of the solar heating process starts in a metal box with a glass topping called the collector. The collector has a metal absorber plate which absorbs the power of the sun, and the collector, as its name might suggest, collects the solar energy. It then transports it through flow tubes, also called heat transfer tubes. The collector can be seen here at the top of the house, where it generally is, although it can be on the side of a house if that provides more sun. The transfer tubes are coming down through here, and this is an up-close of the collector. The glass is on the top, the metal absorber plate is the black surface here. The transfer tubes are these lines running down here, and it has an insulation here to keep the flow tubes warm. The flow tubes are also called copper heat exchangers and are insulated inside the connector. They transfer the heat into a hot water tank. The hot water tank, or the fluid inside these tubes, is known as heat transfer fluid, or HTF. The fluid inside these tubes runs into the tank and heats up the water, and it is called a heat exchanger. The fluid cycles through the system with the help of a pump, and the water inside the tank comes from your regular groundwater supply, so you will already have that provided to your house. The diagram can be seen here with the collector at the start of the process, the transfer tubes coming down here when it is hot. It goes through a heat exchanger here, which is the spiral at the bottom, heats the water, which is why it is blue down here and warm up here, and goes, when it is cooled down, goes back through the collector with the HTF running through the veins here. Now the pump helps to circulate the HTF throughout the system. When the temperature of the system drops below a minimum standard, usually about 55 degrees, an auxiliary heating source, such as electronic or an oil central heating system, heats it to where the water will not drop below that level. What this means is that the water heater system will work year-round. Even if the solar energy provided isn't enough, the system will be backed up by other heated sources. Solar water heaters can be separated into two categories, which are an active and a passive system. An active system will use a pump to separate the HTF, to circulate the HTF throughout the system, whereas a passive system will use natural convection currents in order to provide the flow throughout the system. This can be seen here, where the passive system looks much more simple, and that is because there's no pump and there's no controller. It just relies on normal convection currents, and for this reason it is most always cheaper than the active system. The active system, as you can see, has a pump and it has a controller. Now the advantage of the active system is that it provides a higher efficiency rate, lower heat loss, and more control over your system. The water heating systems can be further distinguished through direct and indirect systems. A direct system will circulate the water through the system, and an indirect system will use a reservoir in order to separate the HTF, heat transfer fluid, from the potable water. While more expensive, the indirect system offers the advantage of freeze and overheat protection. These two systems can be seen here, the left of which is the direct system. There is no reservoir, so the HTF here running through is not being separated. And on the right is the indirect system with the reservoir that separates the HTF and is usually more cost effective, if not more even though it is more expensive. And the HTF is usually a mixture of antifreeze with some water. And that's all for today. I look forward to doing more business with you with the Footprint technology, showing the solar water heating process as through the collector, the hot water tank, goes throughout the house, and it can be separated into direct and indirect categories, and it can be separated into active and passive categories. So there are many options for this, but we at Footprint believe that we will be able to help you make the best decision. So we urge you to come speak to us. Thank you very much.